And like I did earlier, I completely forgot to start recording for the first game. So we are up a game against Blood Sapphire Spiders here in a gauntlet, playing Blood Wild Rabbit Rock, as I've been calling it. This hand's great. I'm definitely going to keep this. It's a little awkward that we can't cast Inquisition on two, since both of these shards don't make a temporary charge. But if we rip a Blood Shard or a Shinhir Dual Shard, we can play Inquisition on two, which will be very good. So we've got a lot of draws. Make this great. Alright, that's not one of them. So if he has like a Fentio or a Vampire Princess, we're a little bit slow at taking that. But we did draw Reap, so if he gets a threat down, we can deal with that. And I guess Rune-Ear Hierophant actually deals with the Vampire Princess. It doesn't deal with Fentio because Fentio is an activated ability, but Rune-Ear Hierophant makes Vampire Princess basically useless. Doesn't have a 2-drop. Come on, Blood Shard. Blood Shard or Rabbit Dual Shard. Oh, that's annoying. So we'll get our second blood on here. And get your car. How about this through the tablet? What do you want? Alright, this could be a number of things. Hopefully it's just like a Vampire Princess. Alright, Inquisition. That's not the worst. It'll be interesting to see what he takes here. If he doesn't take the Giant Corpse Fly, I think I'm playing it out next turn. As opposed to playing an Inquisition of our own. Takes the Reap. As the Ancestor Chosen. Okay, interesting. Yeah, I think I'm going to play the Giant Corpse Fly out here. Although I guess taking the Reap means... This is actually kind of tough. Now the fact that I drew the Aborian Root Father, I think means I'm going to play an Inquisition, because what this means is this has an activated ability where we can put it back into our deck and then draw a new card. So next turn we can do Inquisition plus cycle Aborian Root Father and still use all of our resources efficiently. So yeah, so I'm going to Inquisition this turn and see what he's got. And he has a Fentio and a Zenthos Inquisitor, so that's pretty good. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and take the Fentio since we don't have a removal spell for that right now. So he has Counter Magic, Extinction, and then Inquisitor left in his hand. Inquisition is a familiar effect, you're not wrong. I'm going to go ahead and play Shard Prism out here. And I'm going to Inquisition him before I activate my champion power, because I wouldn't mind redrawing Inquisition knowing what's in his hand. Yeah, so I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to take away Zenthos Inquisitor, because this card, you can only get rid of it by discarding it, basically. Go ahead and pass the turn here. Yeah, he can't cast Counter Magic because he doesn't have double Sapphire. Yeah, the client is definitely much better than, let's say, the competition's client. So we know his hand is Extinction and 2 pieces of Counter Magic. Oh, Vampire Princess is nuts here. So, Vampire Princess, every time she deals damage to the opponent, they reveal a random card from their hand, and if the revealed card is an action, that you get to take it away from them. So, all 3 of the cards in our opponent's hand right now are actions. So, if he doesn't draw a shard that makes a temporary charge to kill this princess or a kill spell, this princess is going to gobble his hand up. Alright, and he drew a shard, so I wouldn't be surprised that, yeah, just see Extinction here. And then he's got 2 pieces of Counter Magic in his hand, neither of which he can cast, so I'm just going to go ahead and put Greenpaw Emancipator here, which makes 8 power, which will kill him very quickly. Actually, you know what I think I was supposed to do there? Maybe I was supposed to play both Runetear Hierophants. Oh, he hit the Sapphire Shard, so I guess I'm not. I was gonna say, it's possible these get 1/1 every time another troop enters play. So if I would have led on these, this would give it +3/+3, which is kind of hot. Attack for 8. And now we get a good sequence here. We get to play Giant Corpse Fly, which will eat, which he's definitely going to counter because it makes him discard a card. And then after he counter magics this, we get to play this follow-up Vampire Princess, and we know his last card is counter magic. So if he doesn't draw an answer to this, we get to eat his counter magic next turn, most likely. So one of the neat things about counter magic in this game is you see this card that he countered, the casting cost went from a 3 to a 5. Every card with the same name in my deck, so all my other Giant Corpse Flies, now cost me 5 to cast because one of them got hit by counter magic. Careful. Careful, buddy. Yeah, there's sweet things you can do with Constructed in this game. I like Constructed in this game a lot. Alright, and we get to take away, and again, not only does it discard the action when he finds it, but it transforms it into a Vampire Kiss. So you can see this is originally his counter magic, but now it's a Vampire Kiss that I get to play. This is definitely a Reese that he has tunneled here, but I think I'm just going to go ahead and play out both my Runetear Hierophants here, and just kind of go wide. Because we only have to get 5 points of damage through next turn. Here's the car, bud. Here's the car. Don't get so upset. So Reese comes in. So again, this makes a random robot at the end of each turn. So if he gets a really good robot, we could lose, and this has to mean he drew Extinction, right? Which would be bad for us, but I'm gonna go ahead and block here in case he didn't. Good top deck. That's gross. Alright, well, we drew a Borean Rootfather. Which, if he doesn't have counter magic here or a sweeper in his hand, this is an 8/8 spell shield, which means it can't be the target of my opponent's spells or abilities. And he's already threw 2 pieces of counter magic. There's one in his bin, and there's one we transformed into a Vampire Kiss. And when he comes into play, if I would have had another troop into play, he gives a troop a temporary bonus equal to his power, so... Arcane Focus. So he could hit another Extinction here. He likely boarded up to 4. Usually, he mentioned that he saw the deck from me, and I was playing 4 Extinctions in the deck, so... we need a 3rd Wild Shard in order to play out this Crocosaur. So unfortunately, this requires triple wild threshold, and I only have 2 wilds right now, so I can't actually play this Croco out. Otherwise, I would just play it out as a 5/6. We're in a point where even drawing any shard isn't that bad because 1 more charge and we get to activate my champion's ability here. Alright, Fentio, I have infinite kills in my hand, so let's just get this out of here. Alright, oh, Green Paw Emancipator. Yeah, the graphics requirements are pretty low to play Hex. Hex runs, it's a little bit slow to launch initially, but it runs, I play competitive matches for prizes on my netbook. So opponent just hit 7 charges, which gives him an Oracle Song, which lets him draw 2 cards. So he's gassing back up here. We do have gas in our tank too a little bit. So yeah, bye-bye, Croco, my old friend. I guess depending on what he drew, he might take the kill, but probably losing the Croco here. The PvE campaign is very many. I guess I haven't played through much of the PvE campaign. I only played it for like an hour or so. Yeah, lost the Krakow. Again, I'm glad Greenpaw Emancipator leaves behind some bodies, so we've got these shroom pins hanging out. This is a Shinhair build. So this puts him to 5, and then Runeair Hierophant is a 3/3 here, so this is putting lethal on the table to play this. So we're definitely going to play it out. Again, if he has another sweeper, he has another sweeper, but I think putting lethal on the table is worthwhile. This card's very good. Very, very good. We haven't seen a Shinhair shard yet, but they're definitely in here. Nope, careful. Want your car? Has another Wrath. Yep. Is that his 4th one? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, that's his 4th sweeper. So I don't think we're supposed to play around the 4th sweeper at this point, but sometimes they have all 4 and 18 cards. And we're not in a bad spot by any means. Like, even if we draw a shard here, we get to activate our champion power. Should we draw a shard? So hopefully we draw a decent card out of our discard pile. It is possible. You can change the socketed gems while you're reserving. Threat? All right. That's technically a threat. Let the shroom pinning begin. I guess there's a lot of shroom pins in here, right? Yeah, there's a lot of shroom pins in there, so. Set 4 is great. I'm liking it a lot. A lot of sweet synergies. Got him on the old 5-turn clock here. Are you upset? Why are you upset, tiny baby? Alright, well that's a Reese. So this kills him along with the Vampire Kiss before the Reese is relevant. Unless he has a counter magic, of course. Alright, VK is not bad. You play with a bunch of Oracle song that looks sweet. Sorry if this is too vague. Yeah, I know exactly what deck you're talking about. That was the first deck I built that is, it's Wintermoon Control. You want to look for Eglov's list from the Hex 100k Invitational as a starting point. It is a Wintermoon Control deck, is what you are looking for. It was definitely the Wintermoon deck when I was first starting. All right, Cottontail Explorer, another 1/1. Yeah, this is a created card. So in Hex, unlike Magic, the cards that would be tokens are actual cards that stay permanently. So when these cards die, they go to the crypt. I'm going to go ahead and Vampire Kiss him now. This way, in case he draws counter magic, he's still dead next turn. And if he draws a troop, we can just kill the troop. So this should mean he's dead because he's cast all 4 of his sweepers. Bonus said GG in chat. You're funny, kid. You're funny. I'd say you're funny looking, but that's my fault. You want a cashew? Is that where you're trying to eat my hand? Do you want something to eat? Actually, I'll give you half a cashew because they're a little big. So I'm going to wait a quick second for people that are watching now. I just ran a commercial, so I want to make sure no one misses any of the action while the commercial is going on. Looks like it's about done. I think this hand's keepable. We don't have any blood thresholds to start, but we have Cottontail Explorer and Monster Sensei, which we can cast. So this grabs shards for us, and this this draws a card when it comes into play. Opponent actually looks to be playing a similar deck to what our last opponent was playing. So this card's kind of sweet. Our last opponent played it as well. This is a 1/1 for 1 that at the beginning of every one of the person who controls it turns, it creates 2 of this card called Ancestral Spectre and puts it into their deck, which is a 1-cost 2/2 fight that cantrips, which he drew on the first turn right away. I guess he could have Arcane Focused into it. All right, fair. The Mono Ruby deck is fine. My wife, literally bought that for my wife last month, and she 5-2'd her first 2 gauntlets with it. I think I'm going to play Cottontail Explorer here because it gives us our best chance of hitting a blood shard. If he hits multiple shards, we have to discard, but that's fine. And I only hit 1 shard anyways. Okay. So opponent's playing Blood Sapphire again, like our last opponent. So his champion ability puts 3 spider eggs in our deck, which when we draw them, he gets a 1/1 that is unblockable. So I'm going to play this out, and I think instead of playing anything this turn, I'm just going to cycle this Shard Prism during his end step, because in addition to cycling to draw us a card, this also fixes our threshold. So when we cycle it, we draw a card and we gain a threshold of our choice. So this will give us our second blood, which will allow us to cast Vampire King, which can block these silly specters. Hex has infinitely better EV. So, Lily Pad is sweet. It's a resource that it can give us one of our thresholds, but because we have both of our thresholds already, we can create a Battle Hopper, which is just a 0/1. We can go ahead and play a VK out here. I'm going to go ahead and activate my champion ability first here and see what we get. Awesome. Yeah. So for those of you that haven't seen it, I've got a sweet little how to hex article, which is just like very bare bones. This is the basics you need to get into playing. This is likely a Reese like our last opponent was playing. So Time Ripple returns this to my hand, and it makes it cost 1 more, which is annoying, but not the end of the world. So I think what I'm going to do this turn is I'm going to Inquisition my opponent plus play Rune-Ear Hierophant. Just kind of be resource efficient and play 2 cards out. Did you poop? No, no poops. Okay. So we're going to start by Inquisitioning our opponent to see what's up. They've been missing shards, so they have five pieces of action in their hand. Extinction, Azure Fate, Inquisition. Quick and Mill. So the Azure Fate could mill us out. I feel like I just want to take the Extinction and just like try and pressure my opponent here. And play this, which gives this -3 power permanently. And go ahead and attack with my Cottontail Explorer now. Next turn, when I play Greenpaw Emancipator and go super wide, this gets +3/+3 because this puts 3 troops into play, which is great. Oh, I guess, as I say, I guess I could technically play Vampire King out here. But he just hit a shard to play his Azure Fate, so that's probably not a great idea. Stop it. Stop it, baby Brett. You're a baby Brett. So I'm going to start by playing Moonhere Sensei out, because whenever a troop comes into play, this gets 1/1. And then I'm going to go ahead and reap his Azure Fate Sorceress here. So that way the next one doesn't mill me more. And we're just going to continue applying pressure here. Ow! You're a brat. You know that? Dad's going to put a show on the TV for you, because you're being a brat. Alright, Tiny Beauty. Watch your show. Yeah, I made a burn deck for my wife recently. Just finished helping her get set up with that. Two Inquisitions. He took the VK, really. I guess the VK can fly over. Still seems kind of interesting, though. So I play Green Paw this turn, and then swing for 7. Yeah, I guess I should play this. We're not empowering it anytime soon. If this Reese is good, we could be in trouble. Wow, that's really aggressive. Just like taking the hit there. No, I reconfigured the deck a whole bunch. This version's not playing Chlorophylia, and it's not playing a couple other things. Well, he missed sequence there. He could have milled us for 8 with this Reese. He might still just mill us out. So that was his actual best hit. This card's so high variance, it's annoying. Create a Battle Hopper, which makes this bigger. Okay. Well, we hit a sweeper. So I guess we're attacking with everything, and then playing Extinction. So this card makes every troop he plays that costs 4 or more mill things when they come into play. And then he hit an 8/8 that milled all my stuff and milled us for 16. So cast this Extinction, hope you brick off for a few turns, I guess. That was maybe the best possible draw. He has a lot of these in his deck, but a card that cantrips and blocks is pretty good. Oh, now we got more spiders in our deck. I'd be very surprised if we win this game. I guess it depends on what threats are left in our deck. The block here seems a little bit loose. He could definitely just like take the hit down to 5, and then if he hits a spider out of our deck or another specter out of his deck, he can threaten a double block next turn. Yeah, so I'm sure he's just gonna hit like specter into specter here. So if we hit a spider, he can double block, which would suck, but we're pretty likely to hit a spider, so. Alright, well, we get to attack in, and then when he blocks, we get to kill one of his guys. Kill that one. Maybe our opponent will hit a block of shards, and we won't hit more spiders. So whenever we draw a spider egg from our deck, we draw another card, and our opponent gets a 1/1 unblockable creature. We're at 10 shards to our opponent's 6, so hopefully he's just hitting air at this point. We do have him on a 3-turn clock here if we stop hitting spider eggs. Ooh, that's pretty good. Yeah, just get back Greenpaw Emancipator, right? I guess I could get back a Borean Rootfather, which makes my other guy threaten lethal. This is probably better against removal spells, though, right? Yeah, this is probably better against removal. He probably has a piece of counter magic here. He hasn't played one yet. Right? Wow, okay. Kill? Maybe he's just sitting on air. That would be great. We can definitely win if he's sitting on air. Rise Again Reese. Oh, Rise Again Reese would have been okay too, I guess. I think Greenpaw's fine. Reese probably would have been better. I forget that Rise Again is both players, yeah. Oh man, we might win this game. See how many spiders we draw. No spiders, alright. Yeah, probably should have gotten the Reese. Wow, yeah, sweet. Thank you for pointing out the Reese line. So I'm going to board in a similar way we did last time. Extra Croc, Princesses. I'm going to trim down on Extinctions, and VK's not stellar. Moonhair's not great because it doesn't attack into his things very well. Cottontail is medium. Actually, Cottontail's probably worse than Sensei in this matchup because Cottontail puts a bunch of cards from our discard pile into our deck. No, yeah, it's already untunneled, so like that line of text stays on it. Do I want to change any of my gems? He's probably bringing in princesses out of the board, so I probably want brutality on here. I guess deals damage, we get a troop from our crypt back. That's probably better, right? Yeah, I'm going to try this. This generates value. It basically draws cards for us. It's possible I even want Spell Shield on some of these. I get 4 Spell Shield gems altogether. I guess he definitely has Exarch of the Egg, though, and the other ability is better against Exarch of the Egg. Yeah, I'm going to try this and put Spell Shield on 2 of them. I only get 4 Spell Shield gems, right? Oh, wait. Yeah, so that's going to be bad. Yeah, okay, so that checks out. Yeah, I'm going to try this. I'm going to put Spell Shield on 2 of them because I can only have 4 Spell Shield gems total in the entire deck, and Rootfather has 2 of the others. And then I'm going to put the gem that when they hit my opponent, we redraw a troop from the graveyard. I guess I could split the difference and put the minus power on some of them and put the rebuy troops on the others. Like maybe put the rebuy troops on the Spell Shield ones. Yeah, I think if we get to a game 3, I'm going to do that and try and change it up a little bit. This hand's super reasonable. We've got turn 2 Sensei, turn 3 Corpsefly or Princess, depending on how we're feeling. My Rootfathers are Spell Shield and plus power when they come into play. I like the plus power gem on the Rootfathers because they allow us to like randomly kill our opponent. There's a reason why I'm not playing a bunch of Crocs in this version of the deck, and this one Croc, I'm bringing in 1 Croc out of the reserves, and we keep drawing it early, because triple Wild Threshold is definitely a little bit hard for this deck without Chlorophilia. Wow, he doesn't have a spider in his hand, so he didn't get a Threshold from that shard that he just played because it needs Ven Threshold. And apparently he doesn't have a Ven. I guess one thing I need to keep in mind is I just boarded out Shinhair, so I'm only on 7 Shinhair right now, and I have Shinhair in my deck, the Shinhair shards in my deck, so that could get me into some trouble. Alright, well he has Counter Magic up. I think I'm going to lead on Corpse Fly because I'd like Princess to resolve. And this can't get to... She showed us he has Time Ripples, and this he won't want a Time Ripple. I'm just going to go ahead and pass the turn back here. Next turn, I'm probably going to jam the Princess in. If he has the second Counter Magic, he has a second Counter Magic. He also hasn't played a Blood Shard yet, a Blood Threshold yet, so he can't cast Kill if he has it. Speak of the devil. Yeah, I'm still going to play this out. Activate this, see what we get back out of the bin. Look, I've got Shinhair, and we drew a Shinhair shard. Everything worked out. Hopefully he plays another troop here so I can play a Croco and eat them both. Alright, well, wish granted. And then if he plays a Sweeper to kill my Sensei and my Croco, I get to follow it up with a Green Paw and go super wide within one card, so that's great. Oh yeah, so when Croco comes into play, he fights 2 opposing troops. The old Fight Dyna, so he eats both of those. Get to get in here for 1. Oh, he actually doesn't have the thresholds to cast Extinction, does he? Yeah, that's pretty good. Things worth noting. He's already burned through 2 pieces of... Oh, which one is this? Return to Crypt. Yep, that sounds hot. So let's Inquisition here. And then this might start rebuying troops from our Crypt. Oh, this isn't the Spell Shield one. They all have the Return Troop. Just some of them are Spell Shield. Azure Fate... And that. Alright, well, I guess I'm taking the Time Ripple because I don't want him to be able to bounce my guys. Peace, Tom. Have fun. You're going to Toronto, I assume? Thanks again for the sub. I appreciate it, mate. So again, every time this hits our opponent for damage, we will get to return a troop from our Crypt to our hand. We get to choose, right? Put target troop. Yeah, sweet. And he just put a bunch of troops into our Crypt. What a good guy. I appreciate you, opponent. I could play Green Paw here. If I play Green Paw, it makes this bigger by a lot. Yeah, it seems worthwhile. So every time a troop comes into play under my control, the Runeir Hierophant gets 1/1 larger. So Green Paw gives it +3/+3, which is just super hot. I'm assuming he's chumping here, so I don't get to rebuy a troop. Whoa, that's real loose. Alright, yep, except, well, I'll take the Aborian Root Father. Seems great. Maybe he just assumed this was a minus power gem like it was last game. So we played against the same thing twice there, but overall, like, this deck feels like a reasonably solid idea. Like, it's less all in and more more like fair mid-range style deck. We've still got like we can theoretically nut draw someone by playing a turn 5. We could still theoretically put 20 power into play on turn 5 by using Giant Corpse Fly to make ourselves discard an empowered Greenpaw Emancipator and then Rise again it. But like people trying to bring in like Cryptate aren't going to be very good against this deck because it's not a graveyard deck, it's a mid-range deck. Runear Hierophant seems very, very powerful. So yeah, I unfortunately, I'm getting ready to leave to go to SCG Open in Milwaukee in about an hour, so I'm going to go ahead and call it a day.